everyone, this is Katharine's Creatures, and this is episode 86. And this is a series where I get to touch base on and talk a little bit about various mythological beasts, beings, and the like pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying that I'm not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything along the way, I apologize in advance. And today I wanted to go over to kind of the area of that deals with Slavic folklore, so Russia, and to talk about this interesting beast-like creature called the Alkonost. And the Alkonost description is this bird with a woman head, head of a woman, and it's supposed to be only one of its kind. It's one of those kind of creatures like Medusa's only one of its kind, yet Medusa's still a Gorgon, and we could go into that, but that's not what we're talking about today. But the Alkonost is the only one of its kind, her kind, I guess I should say, and this image of a woman-headed bird always makes me look back and think upon ancient Greece, because they have similar creatures in their mythology, which is even more interesting when you find out that the Alkonost name actually comes from an ancient Greek demigoddess called Alcyone. And in Alcyon's storyline, she was transformed into a kingfisher by the gods. So there is a link of a poor demigoddess being turned into an animal, a bird in particular, and then the Alkonost, which is a kind of a hybridized woman and bird creature. Now, as for the Alkonost itself, the lore, a lot of it goes around to the bird calls, the songs she sings, and they are supposed to be the most, so amazingly beautiful that if you ended up hearing the Alkonost sing, you would forget everything you ever knew, and all you would want forevermore would be to listen to more of the music, these wonderful bird calls, and that's all you would ever want to do for the rest of your days. So, interesting kind of setup there. There was also, I saw a couple notes about there is a possibility of some lore that needs to be a little verified, that the Alkonost actually lives in the underworld and comes to the world of the living when, for various reasons. And in this underworld lore, she's linked with a counterpart, the siren, which again reflects back to ancient Greece and some of the sirens from there. But in the lore that I know for sure is genuine, the Alkonost supposedly lays eggs on the beach, where once she's laid her clutch, she rolls them into the sea, and when they're ready to hatch, upon hatching, thunderstorms erupt on the sea and make the crossing across the water, or travel across the water, impossible. So she has an ability to deal with weather in many ways, or at least her young. She also is supposed to have a couple sister birds in the Slavic myth. One is let me see if it's Reog, and the other one is the Stratum. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those right. And I'll probably maybe one day go and talk about them a little bit more, but different kind of, again, mythological bird creatures from Slavic folklore that Alkonost is supposed to be linked to or related to. And another interesting aspect about the Alkonost is there's supposed to be a kind of a feast day, a religious celebration, and it's called the, I think the celebration is called the Apple Feast of the Savior. And during that day that they celebrate this, the siren, again, that link between Alkonost and siren, is supposed to fly up into the orchard, the apple orchard, in the morning and start singing these very, very tragic melodies. And by the afternoon, the Alkonost flies into that orchard, picks a tree, and starts singing these joyful songs. Again, going back to the fact that she has these beautiful bird calls. And while she's there in the orchard, she's supposed to have this ability where the dew that is upon her wings bestows healing powers to the fruit in whatever tree she lands on. So it could be any fruit, but seeing that this is supposed to be an apple feast of the Savior, so I'm assuming more often than not she's landing in an apple tree. But yeah, so that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. If you have any questions about this or any other mythological creature, reach out to me on, the comments below or any of my social media. And until next time, everyone, Skål.